Hello, this is Megan Gardner with Up We Grow, and on behalf of Up We Grow, I would like to welcome you to the Up We Grow family. Okay, you should have received your new provider review email with an attachment with a large packet with tons of information, and this video will help you go through all that information on a high level. If you have any questions about what's in the document, please do not hesitate to reach out. Okay, let's jump right into it. First and foremost, the New York State Department of Health and Safety standards. Confidentiality is extremely important, and clinical records should be kept in accordance with the Federal Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, known as FERPA, New York State Department of Health Law, and New York State Department of Education. Preserving the confidentiality of records pertaining to children, no records should be released without prior approval of the parent. And when you are traveling with records, for example, if you're going to a child session and you have their IFSP with you, make sure that they are kept confidential and in a lockbox while you're in transport. For infection control, if a child is sick with a fever, vomiting, or diarrhea, the session needs to be rescheduled. Therapists should have emergency contact information on them and also a phone in the event that you need to make an emergency call and reach out in an emergency situation. When an injury does occur, while a child is receiving services, you should complete that record of injury form. Providers are responsible to ensure that all community settings in which EI services are provided are safe environments for the children. You must observe that all sites are safe and provide the assessment in this booklet, the Community Health and Safety Survey. For each child that you are seeing in their environment, you can complete this form and save that for your files, send one into Up We Grow as well. Universal precautions should be used at all times. 1, wash your hands after every session. And 2, remember to sanitize the toys that you use after each session. In this booklet, there's a great recipe for a soaking solution. Okay, parental consent to email to exchange personally identifiable information. The parent must be aware of and consent to, in writing, the use of unencrypted email, and consent will clearly identify the dangers of such communications. The written consent will identify the email address to which the communication is to be sent and who may correspond with the parent via email. Only those authorized to do so with the written consent to communicate with the parent via email are allowed. A copy of this consent form should be kept in the child's file. The use of secure email and encrypted email. Confidentiality is maintained when email is used. Due to the potential for breach of confidentiality, child-specific information is only transmitted via email with express consent of the parent via encrypted email. For progress notes, you will receive a video shared with you on how to write quality progress notes. And the same thing for session notes. You will receive a video on how to write quality session notes. Medicaid compliance review and training, and the DRA notice. Every provider of services has an obligation to exercise diligence, care, and integrity when submitting Medicaid claims for payment for services rendered. Honest, fair, and accurate billing practices shall be maintained. Service providers are required to report suspected fraud or abuse or other non-compliance problems, and we do have a compliance officer. Their name and phone numbers in the packet. Please reach out at any point. Up We Grow is committed to preventing and detecting fraud, waste, and abuse. Billing procedures and enter claims directions. Up We Grow uses electronic billing system known as Enter Claims, and you will receive written directions. We also have a video and one-to-one trainings offered to ensure your success when you are using this billing system known as Enter Claims. The parent welcome letter, makeup policies, and vacation coverage. Okay, let's jump into these details. Children who present with routine, non-emergency illnesses should be cleared before a therapist begins. In case of a surgery, a doctor's note authorizing resumption of services is required. In the case of contagious diseases, the child should be cleared by his doctor before therapy begins. In the event the child becomes ill during a session, we all hate when that happens, the therapist should notify the parent immediately at the onset of illness. Our sick leave policy is explained to each family when services begin, and a parent welcome letter also introduces our policies and procedures to the family. Children must be supervised at all times, and a parent or caregiver over the age of 18 years old must be present during the delivery of services. Session notes and session log. So a session note and service log must be signed after each session. Makeups should be made whenever possible, and makeups can be provided within 2 weeks of the missed session. Non-delivery of services form. This is an important form, and it's needed for any planned absence or 3 consecutive absences. In addition, you should note the absences on your session notes as well. Okay, let's talk about COVID-19. COVID-19 consent and procedures for telehealth and in person. The most up-to-date information will be shared with you in the packet that we will be emailing you. Provider and family agreement for home-based services. As a provider of services to children in your municipality through the Early Intervention Program, you are bound by a code of ethics. It is important that the families of children that you provide services to understand the professional standards that are incorporated with this code. Nassau County Best Practices Manual. This is included in your packet, and keep in mind, this is for Nassau County providers only. It is a best practice manual designed to standardize practices and establish professional guidelines for early intervention services across Nassau County. ABA policies and procedures. Again, let me highlight, this information is for ABA providers only. So if you're a speech, OTPT, or an evaluator, you do not have to review this section. So ABA providers, Up We Grow defines ABA services as the design, implementation, and evaluation of environmental modifications using behavioral stimuli and consequences to observe or produce socially significant improvement in human behavior, including the use of direct observation, measurement, and functional analysis of the relationship between environment and behavior. Up We Grow is committed to providing quality ABA programming through a collaboration and coordinated effort with our administrative team, therapists, the family we serve, and the service coordinator. So lots of great information there for ABA providers. Something else I'd like to point out that is in your packet is there is a great sheet that lists all of the communication points at Up We Grow. So say, for instance, you have a question about your progress notes or an annual report. You can go right to this sheet, look up who the contact is, and we have their name, their email, and their phone number in case there are any questions and you would like to reach out. I know this was a lot of information that we provided to you here. Save this email with video and you can review it from time to time. But again, please don't hesitate to reach out if you need to take a deeper dive into any of the information that we shared with you today. Up We Grow truly values that you chose us. We know there are many providers out there. And again, we are honored to have you as a part of our family. And we look forward to working with you. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon around Up We Grow.